I'd like to call our board meeting to order.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to our board meeting scheduled for Thursday, April 24th. Would you please rise for the flag salute? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. In accordance with the requirements of the Open Public Meetings Act, I wish to announce that the New Jersey Open Public Meeting Law was enacted to ensure the right of the public to have advance notice of and to attend the meeting of bodies at which any business affecting their interests is discussed or acted upon. Notices announcing the date, time, and place for this meeting were sent to all concerned individuals, associations, and sent to Union County Local Source in accordance with Chapter 231 of Public Law 1975. For the roll, Ms. Stanton.
Here.
Mr. Mahecha. Here. Ms. Kelly.
Here.
Ms. Erde.
Here.
Mr. Cho. Here. Vice President Cohn.
Here.
President Justice.
Here.
You have a quorum.
And with that, we will go to our presentations of the recognition of Teachers and Support Staff of the Year.
Yes, we cannot ever have too many applause on a night like this, so feel free. And I'm happy to share, as you all know, the great, wonderful weather that we're finally experiencing today, and what a better time to have that weather to celebrate some wonderful folks in this room here today, our Teachers of the Year and our Support Staff of the Year. It's important to recognize, not that we're just recognizing these individuals, but they represent, and you guys all represent, a larger group of educators here in Summit, which are outstanding. And for you to be chosen to represent them is an honor. And I thank you for what you do each and every day. Outstanding. So when Ms. Cohn comes up and says your name, you're going to come up. I will be giving you flowers, and then you stand on the side and take a picture with me and President Justice. Okay? With that, Vice President, Ms. Cohn.
We are fortunate to have educators and staff members who are not only dedicated to the students of Summit, but who work tirelessly to cultivate a positive environment for our children. Each year, a select group of staff members are recognized by Union County for exceptional use of effective and innovative instructional strategies, supporting and elevating the learning process of their students, and most of all, encouraging high achievement. We congratulate the Union County 2024-2025 Teacher of the Year recipients and thank them for the passion, commitment, and energy they bring to their students and to the district. After I call the names of this year's recipients, would those in attendance please come forward to the podium to receive a small token of our appreciation and smile for a quick photo. Kara Sally, kindergartner teacher, Jefferson Primary Center. Nicole Johnson, nurse, Brayton Elementary School. Megan McHugh, third grade teacher, Franklin Elementary School. Kristen Schumann, STEAM teacher, Jefferson Elementary School. Kara Capone, fourth grade teacher, Lincoln Hubbard Elementary School. Andrea Sadow, school counselor, Washington Elementary School. Matthew Ramstead, social studies teacher, Lawton C. Johnson Summit Middle School. Casey Sink, mathematics teacher, Summit High School. In addition to Teacher of the Year, Summit Public Schools is celebrating the Support Staff of the Year award for the second year. This award aims to celebrate and honor the outstanding contributions of our support staff, who consistently go above and beyond to ensure the success of our teams and the organization. It also seeks to shine a spotlight on those individuals who truly embody our core values: student-centered, collaboration, ethical conduct and professionalism, respect for diversity and inclusion, and commitment to professional growth. After I call the names of this year's recipients from each school, would those in attendance please come forward to the podium to receive a small token of our appreciation and smile for a quick photo. Jessica Cherlanzio, aide, Jefferson Primary Center. Donna Schneider, Main Office Secretary, Wilson Primary Center. Patricia Scozzaro, aide, Brighton Elementary School. Leslie Padilla, aide, Franklin Elementary School. Dan Levitt, aide, Jefferson Elementary School. Tammy Skiff, aide, Lincoln Hubbard Elementary School. Brandy Rushton, head custodian, Washington Elementary School. Anna Nascimento, aide, Lawton C. Johnson Summit Middle School. Michael Gorman, aide, Summit High School.
Thank you, Ms. Cohen. So in closing, I'd like to say everybody in this room knows this, but you often hear it said, and I say it often, Summit Public Schools is a very special place, and this is proof of why. So I applaud all of you. Thank you very much. One more round of applause, please, for everyone. Thank you. We're also about to do the board business, so if you want to go, now's the time. No, you have to stay, Jeff. You don't have to.
That was almost. Hey, yes, please. Want me to go outside? My older sister.
Go ahead, have
Okay. And now we'll move to the president's announcements. I want to start my comments by addressing what's on everyone's mind, the school budget. Last month, while the 2025-2026 budget was adopted and certified, many questions were posed by members of the public about the budget development process and how we got from the numbers in the tentative budget to the final budget. Superintendent Huff will be addressing some of those specific topics in a few moments, but I wanted to share my thoughts with you as Board of Education President. To hear questions about numbers is one thing. To hear concerns surrounding transparency of the Board of Education and budget process is different. That is difficult for us to hear. I want to provide some clarity on the process. Summit operates differently than other districts. Summit is a Type 1 district. That means all of us here on the board are not elected to serve through a public vote. We are appointed by the mayor. Even though residents of Summit do not directly vote for us to serve, residents vote for the mayor who appoints us and vote for members of Common Council, who will then serve as members of the Board of School Estimate. The superintendent and business administrator work with principals and supervisors to develop the budget based on the needs of the district that are aligned with district goals. The Board of Education collaborates with the superintendent and business office through the Operations Committee to review the tentative budget and discuss its impact on taxes. The district presents the tentative budget to BOEs, and then the Board of Education certifies the tentative budget. Before the public hearing on the final budget, additional work is done among district administration to make reductions in the budget based on feedback from BOEs. The district is required to finalize and deliver the itemized budget to each member of BOEs before the date of the final hearing. At that public hearing, the Board of School Estimate adopts and certifies the final budget. I hope this breakdown provides a better understanding of the process and the roles of the Board of Education and the Board of School Estimate when it comes to the development of the school budget. Hearing the concerns of the public about transparency is a humble reminder for us as a board to better communicate, and I assure you that we will use the lessons we learned this year to do a better service to the Summit community moving forward. I also think tonight's presentation celebrating the outstanding teachers and support staff we have serves as an important reminder to us that really great things are happening in the school district. I know it can be hard to not get swept into the weeds of rumors or negativity, but if you visit any of the classrooms in Summit, you will see terrific things happening. This is the time of year where kids are thrilled to walk outside without jackets on, where they can blow bubbles during an autism awareness walk, where they can showcase their art and musical talents at the 3-day District Arts Festival, where they can cheer on their peers at athletic events, and where they begin to realize that yet another school year has flown by. Let's remember, we are here for them. We are all here for the students. And keep in mind, they are watching us as parents or as leaders of the school district. Let's remember to model for them positive behavior, respectful discourse, mutual respect, and professionalism. Thank you, and we'll move to the superintendent's report.
Good evening. Thank you, President Justice, for sharing the budget process and the role of the Board of Education. I know members of the Summit community have been asking what has been reduced in the budget. I completely understand why people want to know these details as soon as they start to hear about reductions. I wish we could have shared more up front earlier in the process, but I want the community to know why it has taken some time. I mentioned in my comments at the March meeting budget that the 3.9% was proposed had personnel implications. The only way we were going to go from 8.8% to 3.9% was to go through some personnel reductions, which is over a $3 million part of the budget. And we were able to do that by reducing some personnel in force. As difficult as this has been, it is our goal to not impact class size or educational program, and I feel that we accomplished that goal. The reason it has taken some time to get to this point is because with all of the staff reductions related to the budget, we needed to have discussions with staff members who will not be here for the 25-26 school year. In addition, when staff members exercise their tenure rights during a reduction in force, there is a legal process that takes time and requires collaboration with the Summit Education Foundation, Association. We also lost a week due to spring break. The final few staff members who are not being renewed were informed today. I will now inform all staff members in Summit Public Schools that anyone who has not been renewed has been informed and notified. That way, we won't have staff members wondering if there is still a chance that their position will be eliminated. In the meantime, my team has been working on a slide deck with specific information on the budget process and what we reduced in the budget in order to get down to 3.9% increase, including what positions were eliminated. Now that staff notification is done, we will be posting these slides on the district website tomorrow. I know there has been a desire to know what has been cut in the budget, but I am comfortable in the fact that we prioritize the respect and dignity of our staff members who are being impacted by these cuts before sharing the details with the public. I hope that better clarifies and helps people understand the last several weeks since the budget was approved. Moving on from the budget topic, I wanted to share some positive news. On April 9th, I was invited to participate in a presentation to the New Jersey Emergency Management Association, along with Joseph Hawk, Coordinator of Office of Emergency Management in Summit, and soon to be Chief Ryan Peters of the Summit Police Department. The presentation we delivered covered the reunification exercise we coordinated and ran last summer. Our 90-minute presentation was very well attended. It was an exciting opportunity to showcase all of the work and collaboration between the Summit School District and the City of Summit emergency responders. The relationship we have is definitely one I don't take for granted. They are wonderful people, and they're always there for us. On the agenda for approval tonight, we have Dan Healy as principal of Jefferson Elementary School, and Ray Santana as principal of Lincoln Hubbard Elementary School. And obviously a fan club. Starting with Dan. As you know, Dan has been here in Summit for 11 years, 7 of them as athletic director and K-12 supervisor of phys ed and health. In the brief time he has served as interim principal of Jefferson, Dan has already begun to build strong relationships and momentum, and we have heard encouraging feedback from staff and families alike. We are confident that his leadership will continue to strengthen this school community, and we are excited about the path ahead. Congratulations, Dan. Mr. Ray Santana joined Summit after serving 10 years as elementary principal and director of special services in Fairfield, New Jersey. Prior to his administrative experience, he was a special education teacher for nearly 16 years in a few different school districts in the state. What set him apart during the interview process is his unwavering passion for education, his contagious energy, and his ability to effectively communicate and collaborate with his colleagues. We are excited to see the energy that come to life at Lincoln Hubbard Elementary School. Congratulations, Ray.
May I have a motion to approve?
Second.
Ms. Stanton?
Yes.
Mr. Mahecha?
Yes.
Ms. Kelly?
Yes.
Ms. Erde?
Yes.
Mr. Cho?
Yes.
Vice President Cohen?
Yes.
President Justice?
Yes.
Motion carries.
It's official. Congratulations. Likewise, if not interested in participating in the rest of the board's business, this would be a good time to leave. Your choice.
And now may I have a motion for items, B and C?
Second.
Ms. Stanton?
Yes.
Mr. Mahecha?
Yes.
Ms. Kelly?
Yes.
Ms. Erde?
Yes.
Mr. Cho?
Yes.
Vice President Cohen?
Yes.
President Justice?
Yes.
Motion carries.
And now we move to Matthew with our student report.
Hope everyone is doing well and had a great. Hope everyone is doing well and had a great spring break. Let me give you some updates from the high school. In terms of sports, members of the Summit High School track team left yesterday to attend Penn relays. Summit girls lacrosse beat Ridgewood today, and Summit boys lacrosse played Montclair. I'm still waiting for a score update. I haven't got it yet. While the school year may be kind of winding down, Summit High School certainly isn't. Today, the Students Helping Students Club hosted a meeting where members of the club and fellow students created calming jars, which are supposed to help reduce stress and anxiety. Yesterday, students had the opportunity to take a trip to the New York Jets practice facility and hear from members of their marketing, business, and training staff. You might be surprised to find that was a very popular field trip. Tickets have been sold for the junior and senior prom on May 16th, and things have started back up really well since spring break. In terms of student council, as I mentioned in the previous meeting, student council hosted the ABA dance the week before spring break. We were really happy with the turnout and the participation, and the whole dance ended up working out really well. We completed our last pep rally the Friday before spring break, featuring a new volleyball tournament, a raffle for Devils tickets, and it went really well as well. Peer leaders today met with their freshman counterparts and completed a what would you do situation exercise, asking freshmen in the groups to think about how they would react in certain school and out-of-school situations, tackling subjects like cheating on exams, mental health, and out-of-school situations. And that's pretty much it. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Matthew. And with that, I hope you get to enjoy the nice evening outside. And are there any additions or revisions to the agenda?
Yes, Madam President, members of the board, there's only one on page 8, personnel item F. The effective date for the resignation of Nicholas Ozowski is changed to May 30th.
Thank you. And with that, we will move to our committee reports, and we will start with Education and Student Activities Services Committee.
The Education and Student Activities Services Committee met on April 10th, 2025 at 12 p.m. for approximately 35 minutes. Committee members in attendance were myself, Board members Waldita Justice and Eileen Kelly, Superintendent Scott Huff, and Heather Rocco, Director of Curriculum and Instruction. We also had a special guest, Dan Healy, Director of Athletics at the time. Dr. Crystal Marr, Director of Student Personnel Services, was absent. The first thing we started with is what you saw today, the Teacher of the Year and Support Staff of the Year. As you're all well aware, at the meeting this evening, we had the pleasure of celebrating our Teacher and Support Staff of the Year. This is our second year celebrating support staff, and I just want to personally stress how much I love that Superintendent Huff put this initiative in place. In May, teachers who are honored this evening will join Superintendent Huff at Keene University for a celebratory breakfast. We then went to performance reports. For people like myself who are new to these reports, I want to provide some background knowledge. Every year, every school district in New Jersey has their district's data collected on October 15th, and performance reports are created by both school district and individual school. Superintendent Huff focuses on ELA and math testing scores. Each school has a baseline target starting the 2015-2016 year, and a goal score of getting 80% proficiency by 2032. Increments may be more or less in each given year to get to the 80%, depending on where the school and district started in their target year of 2015-2016. I'm pleased to report that we met our target and goal in every school for ELA this year, which is the first time this has happened during Superintendent Huff's time in Summit. We also met our target in mathematics in every school except for one school. This school, however, is so high performing that the target was set at 85, which is well above the state's goal for becoming 80% proficient. In short, this school did meet the 80% proficiency goal. The administrative team will now analyze the performance reports to determine strengths and areas of improvement within our curriculum. We are pleased to report that this was one of our strongest years for student achievement on our standardized testing results. Additionally, these scores are now currently live on the New Jersey Department of Education website, so anyone interested is able to access them. We then had Director of Athletics Dan Healy give us an athletics program update on the 24-25 athletic program, including this spring season. It reflects an even split of female-male athletes and a strong representation of athletes across a variety of demographics. In grades 6 to 12, there are a total of 34 sports offered at 76 different levels. Mr. Healy stressed that Paula Acosta and our Spanish liaison have worked diligently to ensure that our free and reduced lunch and Spanish-speaking students have the opportunity to participate in athletics by providing access to multiple resources. For example, healthcare, physical appointments, etc. Enrollment in student athletics has ranged between 2/3 and 3/4 of the SHS population during Mr. Healy's time at the high school. In the last couple of years, the high school has remained consistent at roughly 3/4 of its enrolled students participating in athletics. LCJ SMS's enrollment has also remained consistent. 6th grade participation is limited to cross-country and track, making LCJ SMS's participation percentages lower than that of the high school. It is important to note that winter participation at the middle school tends to drop annually because basketball is the only sport offered during the winter season. And finally, we discussed the NJSLA spring date reminders. On April 28th, NJSLA testing will begin in our district, starting at LCJ SMS with ELA. The testing schedule of the district was sent to families via email on January 3rd, 2025. Are there any questions, comments, or additions from the board?
Just one point of emphasis, and I know you mentioned it, Kelly, but I think that the website where the state assessment information is shared is really a great resource for parents in particular, because we get a lot of questions like how are our state performance versus 5 years ago versus 10 years ago, and I believe that data goes as far back as 2015. So it's a really great resource for the public to dig into whenever they would like, by school, by gender. I mean, it's got a plethora of information, so I would encourage parents and anyone interested on our performance in the district to visit that site.
Thank you, Eileen. Anyone else? Our next meeting will be on Thursday, May 8th at 12 p.m.
Thank you, Ms. Stanton, and now we will move to the Operations Committee.
Thank you, President Justice. The Operations Committee met on Monday, April 7th at 12 p.m. for approximately 60 minutes. Committee members in attendance included Superintendent Scott Huff, Business Administrator Derek Just, Assistant Business Administrator Kathy Sarno, as well as board members Jan Cho, Melanie Cohen, and myself, Items discussed on this month's agenda included a review of a food service update. The monthly P&L for February is $5,547.74, with a profit of $35,782.94. ROD grants was the majority of our discussion this month, and as I've previously stated over the last few months, the district is eligible for what are called ROD grants, which would provide about a 40% rebate from the state on state-approved roof replacement work at 4 schools. The district does not have the money on hand to cover the entire expense up front, which is approximately $12.6 million, and thus a bond issuance would be required. The committee also discussed other projects that were presented by the business office that could potentially be added into this bond and their anticipated costs. The committee has ultimately agreed that all additional projects are currently not critical at this time and that the district will utilize ongoing maintenance as well as the exploration of grants where applicable, specifically in the areas of playground upgrades. The ROD grants for the roof work do offer Summit a one-time opportunity for a 40% rebate that the committee believes is crucial to take advantage of. Thus, we will ask tonight that the BOE support this request for a bond on the roof replacement work. It's found in the operations section. It's 2 line items in particular. The superintendent and business office have had an initial discussion with the city mayor as a bond would need to be approved by the city. And the committee will work with the district and begin next steps with BOEs to seek additional approval from the city, which, as I mentioned, is required. The committee recommendations are to support the approval of tonight's request to grant and proceed with the ROD bond request, and our next meeting is scheduled for May 5th at 12 p.m. Thank you. Any additional questions or comments from board members? No? Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Kelly. We'll move to our policy committee.
The policy committee did not meet this month. We are scheduled for next May 7th at 9:30 a.m.
Thank you, Ms. Erde. And next, we'll have Communications Committee.
The Communications Committee met on April 8th at 12:30 p.m. We met for 20 minutes. In attendance was myself, board members Yon Cho and Carlos Mahecha, Superintendent Huff, cabinet members Lorraine Dickinson and Doug Orr. First off, we talked about the elementary principals communication rollout that we actually voted on just a few minutes ago. Finalist interviews for new principal positions were taking place the week of April 8th when we met. Candidate profiles will be shared shortly, and board members were invited to meet the finalists on April 21st. The board vote was scheduled for tonight, which we did, and the anticipated start date for our principals is July 1st. Interim leaders will remain in place until then. Communications to staff and families will be sent on the Monday or Tuesday before the board meeting to ensure announcements precede the public release of the agenda. Staff engagement opportunities with the new principals are also being planned. Next up, we discussed strategic planning update. The Summit Scoop will feature strategic plan content in the end of April edition, alongside broader updates. 2 core team meetings are scheduled in April and early May. The strategic plan webpage continues to be updated with information and a timeline outlining progress throughout the planning process. Next up was investing in our future update. The high school project timeline now extends beyond April. Plans include a ribbon cutting in conjunction with the August board retreat. At the middle school, electrical and HVAC upgrades are still underway. The committee emphasized the importance of accurate communication regarding air conditioning functioning, especially if May brings warmer than usual weather. Up after that was the annual communication survey. The district aims to release the updated communication survey after spring break. The new version will combine both district-wide and school-specific questions to provide a clearer picture of communication effectiveness. It will also include items exploring which platforms on social media families use to engage with the district. Elementary school families tend to receive more communication directly, while middle and high schools are increasingly directing communication and accountability towards students. Survey questions will be refined to reflect this nuance and the broader intent of communication strategies. Up next was our May reorganization meeting. The board reorganization will take place on Tuesday, May 13th. From a communication perspective, this will be a time to share updates with the public about new board members, vice president, and the committee members. The committee noted the need for the usual preparation required to ensure a smooth public announcement. And last but not least, we discussed community feedback. There was a minor confusion about a few dates on the Summit High School and PTO calendars, which have since been updated to reflect accurate dates of upcoming events. There were no recommendations from the committee, and our next meeting will be Tuesday, May 6th at noon. Are there any additions or questions from the board? Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Cohn. The Negotiations and Personnel Committee did meet this month to discuss personnel matters. Are there any liaison reports? Okay, we will move on to public comment.
Anyone wishing to speak shall first seek recognition by the presiding officer. Please come to the microphone and state your name and address in a clear, audible tone for the record. Please direct all your comments to the board president and not an individual member of the board, and please remember to conduct yourself with decorum and respect when speaking and addressing the board. Unless additional time is granted by the board president, please be respectful and keep your comments to 3 minutes or less. In addition, please note that this portion of the meeting is for public comment and not meant to be a back and forth. Board members and administration will not respond to questions or comments at this time. However, information will be provided by the appropriate individual as soon as possible. Questions asked at this board meeting will be answered in 2 ways. 1, publicly at the next board meeting, and 2, by the superintendent or his designee directly to the person who asked the question.
Good evening, Diego Hoyt. Just a quick clarifying question about the bond issuance for the roofs. If I understood it correctly, and this is what I'm trying to clarify, we issue a bond for $12 million, and we pay for the whole thing, and then we get 40% of $12 million back. Is that correct? So the net is 12 minus 40% of 12 million, and don't ask me to do arithmetic at the microphone. Is that right?
Yes.
Thank you.
Motion to close public comment.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Abstentions? So moved.
And let's see, we move on to approval of board minutes from our March and April meetings. So may I have a motion?
Ms. Stanton?
Yes.
Mr. Mahecha? Yes. Ms. Kelly?
Yes.
Ms. Erday?
Yes.
Mr. Cho? Yes. Vice President Cohen?
Yes.
President Justice?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Next, we have finance items A through O. May I have a motion?
So moved.
Any discussion? Ms. Stanton?
Yes.
Mr. Mahecha? Yes. Ms. Kelly?
Yes.
Ms. Erday?
Yes.
Mr. Cho? Yes. Vice President Cohen?
Yes.
President Justice?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Next, we have school board operation, items A through D. May I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion?
I have just one question and then a comment. So item A here, perhaps, Mr. Just, you could just explain this in layman terms. What is item A tactically mean for the district in terms of its application of the FEMA money?
So we have an agreement with New Jersey Office of Emergency Management that allows us to apply for funding, and we work with them in case of emergency and things like that. This resolution is really just clarifying what our legal name is, the Summit Board of Education, because we've had this agreement for many years, and they're going through all of their documents, and they said that this is what they needed to do. So we have a government registration number that we're a part of, and we take that number plus the information we provided to them, and they update their records. And so this is just the approval to submit that application to them for that purpose.
Okay, thank you. And then just for, I think, added again, edification for the members of the public on the ROD grant. So tonight we're voting on items, is it C and D specifically, correct?
Correct, yes. So to Mr. Hoyt's comment, we are $12.6 million. We're getting $5 million back from the state. It nets out, so we have to issue the full $12 million first, and then we will get the 40% back. For the Board of Education's authorization, item C, which is the authorization delegation of authority for the school facility project, and authorizing the SDA grant agreement. The items that you see here are the grants that are the agreements that we're getting. Dollar amounts in item C are what we're getting back, and D are what we're getting back. Shows you state share and total project cost. This is language specifically from the New Jersey School Development Authority, which we are required to approve in order to start the process to get this money from the grant. This is step one. Step two will be the Board of School Estimate approval. After that, it would go to Common Council for their approval. Once they approve it, then we certify to the state that we do have the funding mechanism in place, and then the projects can begin. It's a very long process to get the money, but it's all worth it.
Just for more kind of awareness on ROD grants in general, they don't come around every year at this size, and Summit doesn't
Correct.
always get them. So this is an opportunity that we discussed is really critical to take advantage of. And I think, we had obviously a very complicated but thorough also budget process. We were mindful to really, this is an opportunity again to take advantage of ROD grants, even though we issued a bond, roughly 3 years ago. This is something that Summit won't get easily again.
Correct. The last time the ROD grants were available was, I believe, either 2009 or 2014, and ROD stands for regular operating districts, because in the state there are regular operating districts, and then there are SDA districts, which are school development districts, which are formerly the Abbott districts, which are the poorest districts in the state. So while they are fortunate enough to have all of their projects paid 100% by the state, regular operating districts such as ourselves are not. And so this is the carrot that is dangled in front of us in order to help us do these projects.
Thanks for adding that. That's it, thank you.
All right. Ms. Stanton?
Yes.
Mr. Mahecha? Yes. Ms. Kelly? Yes. Ms. Erde?
Yes.
Mr. Cho? Yes. Vice President Cohen?
Yes.
President Justice?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Next, we have personnel, items A through T. May I have a motion?
So moved. Second.
Any discussion? Ms. Stanton?
Yes.
Mr. Mahecha? Yes. Ms. Kelly?
Yes.
Ms. Erde?
Yes.
Mr. Cho? Yes. Vice President Cohen?
Yes.
President Justice?
Yes.
Motion carries.
And next, we have policy and regulations, second readings. May I have a motion?
So moved.
Any discussion? Ms. Stanton?
Yes.
Mr. Mahecha? Yes. Ms. Kelly?
Yes.
Ms. Erde?
Yes.
Mr. Cho? Yes. Vice President Cohen?
Yes.
President Justice?
Yes.
Motion carries. Yeah, you can do that. Ask her to do that, yeah.
Thank you, President Justice. Before we go to adjournment here, I'd just like to say a few words that every year the board leadership changes over. And I want to thank Ms. Walida Justice as president of the board this year and Ms. Melanie Cohen as vice president. Everyone needs to remember that these are volunteer positions, and each school year brings twists and turns and unexpected things that we all have to deal with collectively. And these two have demonstrated that they always put children first when making decisions in a collaborative manner to keep Summit on top. So I want to thank you both for your unwavering support, dedication, and time that you put into the work of the board this year. Thank you very much.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure. You all are wonderful. Great to work with. And with that, may I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved. Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries. We are adjourned at 7:19. Thank you.